A spider can lift 170 times their weight, and if Peter has inherited a spider's powers, he can lift about 25,000 pounds, roughly translating to 12.5 tons. But in the comics, it has been proven that he can lift up to 300 tons if under extreme conditions. Spider-Man is strong as the Hulk. What if? When it comes to super strength, Spider-Man often ranks fairly low. You have powerhouses like Thor and Hulk. During these times, Spider-Man can boost Spider-Man's strength. Desperation and adrenaline can boost Spider-Man's strength to unheard of lovers, temporarily making him rival Hulk or even Thor in the strength department. How strong is Ghost Spider? Oh my god. Spider-Man. Ghost Rider Spider-Man. How strong is... Sorry guys, I'm taking a little break. Despite being compared to Bones and Hellfire, the Ghost Rider possesses formidable human strength, enough to easily pick up a truck and hurl it across a road. It has been stated that Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider can press around 25 tons, 50,000 or more, as seen in Warhawk. Dang, 25 with Spider-Man, right? 25. So let's say when they're both using their abilities, 25 tons. And how much can Spider-Man weigh? Give me a minute. How much? 25 tons. Wait a minute. 25 tons. So it's 25, I would say 25 tons. 12.5, so I would say 25 point, that's 12.5, 25.12.5. Sorry guys, I got to do a little math. Where's my calculator at 25.12.5? Plus, 25 plus 12.5. 92.5 tons. Ghost Rider can do. Separated, they are about powers can do certain things. Now, I would say that Ghost, basically, if he's wearing this suit, it's basically Ghost Spider, but he can do the separation. Now, if he could turn his power up to the blue cremation flame level, Midoriya would help get Rock free of the robot. The robot would try to stomp on Uraraka. Midoriya would basically be pushing him up, struggling, telling Uraraka that I would say, because it said in drastic measures, Spider-Man's powers can be enhanced for a short period of time, even up to the Hawk's power. So I'd say that with one hand, Midoriya, in certain circumstances, can basically, I would say that his one hand could basically be the Hawk's one hand. He would basically free whip her towards the teach, rev her out of the way. He would basically push it up and basically start breaking the robot, basically getting points left and right. Uraraka would still be slightly injured, but she would thank him. Midoriya would basically, I would say that he would get a lot more points in canon. I wouldn't say he would get to first place. Well, I would say that separately, without, I would say that he could still use his flames, but that would basically exposing himself. He would basically use it in certain areas of the test. He would use his flames, hell flames, basically burning the robot with his fist. His strength. He would start getting a little angry, and his hand would start to burn flame. He would hit the robot, basically destroying the zero pointer. I would say it's a little stronger than normal canon Midoriya's one-for-all punch that broke his hand that when he got slapped by Uraraka. I would say that he would get to, I would say second place without losing men. Because, like, I would say he could get the first place, but, like, imagine his secret identity. He can't lose his ghost spider powers fully because they would expect, how does he have 2 quirks? There's probably, but he would lose some of his flames. Midoriya, basically, that would be the end of the test. Midoriya would go home and start training. He would still be a vigilante. He would put his costume on and train. He would lose his combination of the Ghost Rider power with his normal spider powers. Now, I would say the Ghost Rider powers can enhance the spider powers, and the same with the spider powers to the Spirit of Vengeance. I keep wanting to say Peter, sorry. Midoriya would be a vigilante. He would actually encounter Stain. Now, he would actually try to capture Stain. He would fight him. Now, Stain has, I would say during this time, he hasn't killed anyone. So the Spirit of Vengeance really, I would say when he's not trying to cleanse people's souls, Midoriya can, they're basically 50-50. Midoriya can control the power. Midoriya would lose some of the power of the Spirit of Vengeance to fight him. Basically, making a hell flame circle from them. Basically, they're both around flames. Midoriya would fight them. Now, Stain would, I would say Midoriya's healing factor is like Peter's. Midoriya would get cut and basically would get his blood licked. Midoriya would basically be paralyzed. I would say probably. I would say that he, what's his name? Stain wouldn't kill him, but he would basically start to walk away and be like, "Sorry, kid, I gotta leave you here." And Midoriya would start to get a little angry, and I would say his blood type, the Spirit of Vengeance would start to kick in, the power. He would turn on fire. Basically, Stain's looking at him, being like, What? What are you doing? You can't move. I just licked your blood." Midoriya would be on fire. Basically, the Spirit of Vengeance. He would use the flames. He wouldn't cleanse his soul, but he would basically, not brutally, but like beat him up. Then he would go back to normal. I would say that he would have, kind of like what Peter does, have exchange a backup clothes. Because I would say that probably when he turns into the Spirit of Vengeance, Ghost Spider, his mask would probably, burn up. He would capture Stain. Now, it doesn't mean Stain's gonna break. It could still mean Stain could break out. He's basically doing better than, not Endeavor, basically. He's been capturing villains. Now, just crooks, like robbers, serial killers, somewhat. He wouldn't do because, like, Spirit of Vengeance would still kill people. But Spider-Man, not Ghost Spider, but Spider-Man would still capture people and, give them to the police. So, basically, Spider-Man, for some people, he's a menace, like, he's a vigilante. He's breaking the law. But for some other people that he has saved, let's say, one day, what's her name? Yo-Yo, what's her name? The Creation, basically, she looks like Kale. I know her name. I just lost a bit of my tongue. Let's just say Yo-Yo, I can't say it. But he would save her one day from, or I would say a robber. Now, this robber would have a quirk enhancement. Now, she's still, her creation quirk, she needs to know how to create it. So, like, she's basically defenseless. She could probably make money and crap. Midoriya would come in and try to save her. Spider-Man. Basically everyone would know Spider-Man. Some people would, like I said, would think he's a hero, and some people would think he's basically somewhat of a menace, not a villain, but like I said, not a villain or hero, but basically a vigilante. So some people would want to arrest him, like Endeavor and All Might. Now Midoriya would basically save Yazuma, I can't say her name, from a robber. Now this robber would have, I would say it's like around the strength, he would have two quirks. He would have a strength enhancement and the power of ice. Basically, kind of like a half and half quirk, but he not. So Midoriya would save her from him. He would, call the police anonymously and, web him up with her. I would say that Midoriya would lose his fangs sometimes when because I would say he could, sometimes he'll either bite the guy when he, or, poke him with his stinger. Now, Spider-Man sometimes would have the power of a stinger, like a normal spider. Venom. Now, he can make it where it can basically kill a person, or I would say this one, he can kill a person with enough venom, or just enough to make him unconscious for like an hour or two. Enough for basically the police would come. Now, Midoriya, it's not just Midoriya, but they would think, because they're separate people, basically. They would think that Spider-Man's 50% good and bad. Now, Ghost Rider's still, he's somewhat like that, but less. He's more likely to get, more people want to capture him and arrest him. I would say he would do the 9 months of training / being a vigilante. I would say that this is their first day of class. Now, his hero costume would be the big time suit. He would also... He would also have the costume, the Iron Spider suit from his father in this time. This one is a different, alternate timeline, I would say. His father's somewhat rich. Now, his mother and father's divorced, like I said, but he still supports the family. Midoriya would be basically I would say he would be as smart as Peter Parker. Yeah. He can make suits. He would, for certain villains. Now, should I add, I'm gonna say it again, I probably won't do Venom, but should I do other villains from the Spider-Man, the Marvel Universe, like Spider-Man's enemies, Green Goblin, Dr. Octavius, the Lizard, etc. I would say that if we did do that, the Lizards, they would all have the quirks, basically. Dr. Octavius's quirk would be, I would say that his quirk would activate when he's in danger. If we're going to add him, I'll do this right here, so it's not a mutagen or whatever. His quirk is the Lizard. Now, his quirk it's somewhat unstable. He can turn into a lizard and have the powers, the regeneration, all the crap like that, but he would slowly start losing control. So basically, his quirk is unstable. It's like a last resort. If I'm going to add it, that's what his quirk would be. The lizard, basically. Lizard, basically everything a lizard can do. I'll say we'll start the first day, the ball throw and etc. Midoriya would get ready to go to class. He would be thanked as a hero for Yurdaraka would thank him, and he would tell her no problem. Midoriya, Bakugo would be like, Deku, how do you have the powers? You're supposed to be quirkless nobody. Midoriya would explain that he's a late bloomer. His quirk activated when he was being attacked by a villain. Bakugo would be like, somewhat like that. He would, whatever, Midoriya. Midoriya would, they're going to do the ball throw. Now, Midoriya would basically have the power of a spider, 12.5 pounds weight, basically. He would throw the ball. I would say it's the same score as in canon, but without breaking his body. Now, he wouldn't have to restrain himself like Midoriya did in canon with One for All. Now, I have a question. We would make him OP, but sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Should Midoriya have One for All? Should Bakugo? Who should have One for All? Yeah. Let's get back to story. They would do the ball throw. Now, Ozawa would try. No, he wouldn't. What he did in Canada erased his quirk. I would say he would try it to tell him to go at full, because like he would have explained that if you don't, since this is fun, whoever gets the least amount of score, basically the score is going to be expelled. So he would say that after Midoriya would throw it. Now he would try to erase Midoriya's quirk, and it would be strange. No. Oh, never mind. I forgot. That is his quirk in this one. He would erase Midoriya's quirk. So it's just a normal human throw. He wasn't using this, the Spirit of Vengeance strength enhancement. So he, basically he would throw at full power. I would say he would get a little more points than in canon. And he's around the same speed. Basically, if we're talking, he would... Okay. So, Midoriya and Bakugo would get in a race to basically race each other. Now, Midoriya would basically do this. Since he has an organic web, he could just do it infinity times. He would attach himself to Bakugo when he's, swinging. Midoriya would basically get on top of him and jump. But Midoriya would get a point. Let's say Bakugo had, his speed was 80. I would say Midoriya's around 81 or 82 from jumping off of him. He has the flexibility of a spider and everything. I would say everything up that is normal. That somewhat like in canon, it happened. Let's just say that after that, everything like in canon happened. Now Midoriya's hero costume will be the big time suit, a spider. The big time from the Spider-Man series, the big time suit. During this break, Midoriya would be, still being the vigilante, saving people, and being his other persona, the Ghost Rider. Now, sometimes Midoriya would have, basically, sympathy. Basically, how Midoriya, he wants to be a hero, the number one hero. Basically, the two heads, basically Midoriya and the Spirit of Vengeance, would basically fight. Sometimes, basically, if someone just... I would say with Midoriya's influence, the Spirit of Vengeance wouldn't kill someone that just robbed. No, he would kill. Midoriya would be fine with him killing people that have murdered people. Innocent people. Like that. Now, the League of Villains, All For One, would know about this. Now, I would say, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Since basically the Spirit of Vengeance is somewhat merged with his quirk, say if All For One was to get his hands on him, his quirk would not be taken away. Because technically it's a mutation / transformation. Because he got buff like Peter did. He would still be doing the vigilante and crap. We're going to end this right here, but before I do, let me explain what's going to happen in part 2. Now, they get ready, All Might would come in and be like, I'm coming in like a hero. They would get their certain costumes. Midoriya would base his on his. I would say that he would have bases off of the hero or vigilante Spider-Man. He would have the neck brace thing like in Can. He would have the big time suit. I would say everyone in canon would go the same for the group, like the two heroes and villains, crap like that. Everything, Midoriya and her would get ready to go in. Now, Midoriya would explain that his powers is basically a spider. He has organic webbing, the strength of a spider. They're a little strong, a regeneration factor like a spider, but stronger. The ability to basically uncapacitate people with his fang. He would show like he had like kind of like vampire fangs like Miguel or Harrow had. 2099 Spider-Man. And his stinger. So it's like he has an option if he wants to sting people. He would also explain that he can go invisible and he has shock. He can basically turn his webs electrified. I would say that. Even though I don't think Miles has that ability, that would be his web shooters. We'll just say with his quirk is a mutation version of his parents. So he would have the electricity of a spider and basically invisibility. Now, invisibility is like basically the camouflage invisibility. I'm going to end this part right here. Now, like I said, in part 2, we're going to do Midoriya, Spider-Man. Well, people was calling Deku and Yuraraka versus Ida and Bakugo. Now, these are the two questions I want to ask you people. Should I add Spider-Man villains in this? Like Dr. Octopus, etc. Now, I would have to change their, I would probably have to give Dr. Octopus his quirk, technopath, basically. He can control tech on top of his body. Like I already said, the lizard could have the quirk. The lizard. Now, when he uses the quirk, he would slowly start to lose control of himself. I'm going to end this here, and I may do a part 2 later today. Like, literally, I can't sleep. It's 6:49 for me. I'll do a part 2 of this What If later. Yes. Leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe. See you guys.